Okay, all right. Weekly track roundup. My feelings, my thoughts, my opinions, my emotions on a bunch of tracks that have dropped over the past week or so. That's what this video is. Hi, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Sorry, I didn't say that at the start of the video, and you had to wait to find out who I am. Don't want to confuse anybody in chat. So, yeah, there you go. All right, well, every song that I talk about in this video is going to be linked down below, so you can check it out for yourself. That is the usual deal. Also down there, per usual, is our Turntable Lab link. We get kick back from it. Supports the channel as you purchase vinyl, record, turntable stuff, speakers, what have you, whatever it is. If they have an attack helicopter over there and you buy it using our link, we get kickback from it. So, it's whatever. And also our Patreon page, you can get some extra bonus monthly content while supporting us in the process. That'd be cool too. Bah. Okay. We're into the worst tracks of the week. We're starting with, of course, none other than Lil Yachty, who has hit us with no vegetables over here. Gotta say, the Yachty broccoli vegetables era, much better than whatever he is doing in this era, which is just doing a generic rage tune with the distorted instrumental and everything. I mean, sort of seems like everybody's trying to hop on this trend to stay relevant, and some people do it better than others. Yachty, in my opinion, does not. All right, moving on. We have Ice Spice, who is hitting us with a track she has contributed to the forthcoming SpongeBob movie. And, while I will say the music video, the media tie-ins are very fun and very cute. It's cool. I appreciate it. Total package, it's fine. But as a song by itself, I'm not putting on big guy. I'll be real. I'll be honest, Chief. I'm not putting on big guy. This one's kind of annoying. Also, feeling like the new Oliver Tree track, Joyride, is a bit obnoxious as well. It's desperate, I guess, kind of situationship angle. It's wild break beats. It's strange, shouty vocals. I would have hoped that Oliver Tree would have progressed past something like this at this point, but it feels almost like he's regressing since his last record in a way, but I don't know. What do I know? Nothing, according to Oliver Tree. And NF teaming up with, of course, Machine Gun Kelly on the track Who I Was, which is out now from his new EP. And if you wanted to hear a bunch of whiny, melodramatic, rap music that thinks it's, more urgent than it actually is, you could give this a listen, I guess. We have a lot of worst tracks. Why do we have so many worst tracks this week? Miley Cyrus, Dream is one. This song is terrible. However, it's not really a reflection on Miley, in my opinion. It's just like generic Avatar movie soundtrack slop. It's just blockbuster film soundtrack slop. Lyrics about how we're diamonds and stuff like that. Just like literally every dramatic movie ballad cliche you've heard in your life, because, when movies have huge budgets like these, they're like, hey, we need to pay a bunch of rich, famous, successful musicians to do the soundtrack, and they're just kind of showing up for the check. They're not putting much passion or thought into it. They're just kind of like trying to fill in the blanks and just kind of do what they need to do what they need to do to get out of there, and that's essentially what Miley is doing here. So, good on her. Get the bag. Her newest record, her last record, was great. Okay, anyway. And Meghan Trainor, whose forthcoming album, Toy With Me, has a teaser from it titled Still Don't Care. I actually kind of made an assessment of this track before having seen this cover. It just sounds like annoying music from the last Barbie soundtrack. And not to say the Barbie soundtrack was annoying. It sounds like an annoying version of the music from that soundtrack. And now I'm seeing the cover here and I'm like, oh, she's kind of like doing purposefully a Barbie thing. So basically Meghan Trainor was inspired by the Barbie soundtrack and decided to make music that wasn't even good enough for it. Sad, unfortunate. But I guess she still doesn't care, so that's fine. All right, and Megadeth. Whoa, whoa, buddy, whoa. Pretty badass. Can I show this? Can I show this? I think I can I display this without getting demonetized? The most badass piece of single art of all time. Like, I mean, the single art, the song itself, like, how old is Dave Mustaine at this point? Why does he still write lyrics like he's an antisocial 14-year-old? I don't care if you die. I'm Dave Mustaine. Like, what the... I mean, the guitars and drums sound cool for sure, you know? But, like... you would think, or you would hope at this point, that like Dave's pen would have gained maybe a little bit of nuance since, you know, the band's heyday, but I guess not. Whatever. I don't care. Just like the song says. And we also have Ken Carson over here who's dishing out a really obnoxious track titled Margiela. And yeah, he's kind of flowing like this on the song. It's terrible. It's awful. We're just going to move on to the tracks I was meh about. Not crazy about, but, you know, they're not bad either. You might like them more than me. They are as follows. We are starting with this new Robyn track, Dopamine. Decent piece of electropop. Not blowing my mind or anything like that, but it's got some good grooves to it. Solid chorus as well. Like, is it going above and beyond? Her best song ever? That sort of thing? No. It's not quite in that ballpark, but, you know, it's fine. It's enjoyable. Again, decent electropop. We have a Poppy who is just pretty much going full unadulterated gent pop metal over here with Bruised Sky, and it's all right. You know, her vocals definitely fit the vibe, fit the style. I wish the guitars and the production itself were like more interesting, but honestly, I feel like it kind of makes sense for Poppy to continue in this direction because like there aren't a lot of people who have like the kind of appeal that she does specifically making this sort of music. So, I mean, you know, it makes sense. It makes sense, even if I'm not like crazy about it myself. We also have Big K.R.I.T hitting us with this, the Mileage track over here, which is kind of a shorty for him. I mean, but you know, it's been a while since he's come through with a single. It's just like a straight up kind of a track you put on when you're driving, you know, one for the car, which, you know, he's been known to make some great car bangers in the past. I wouldn't say this is like one of the biggest or most hard hitting or anything like that, but yeah, it's a nice chill song to ride to. You could say that. We have a Dry Cleaning hitting us with Cruise Ship Designer, which is a bit of a zany kind of post-punky talk rock track. Not quite as lengthy or as much of an odyssey as their last single. This one has some more absurd lyrics in it, some off-kilter grooves. To be honest, it is not quite as enjoyable. It's like absurd to the point where it does get a little bit grating, but I still do like the fact that the band is like experimenting a bit and doing some weird stuff. And we also have Bill Callahan, My Days of 58 forthcoming album. Our first taste of it comes in the form of The Man I'm Supposed to Be, which I think is a solid tune at its core, but the production is just so lacking. And I know Bill historically is, you know, going back to the days of Smog, you know, he's a lo-fi guy, but, you know, the sax is so faint and so in the background, you could barely hear it over the drums. And I mean, the drums, you could barely hear themselves. So, you know, there's I think there's some potential here lost in the fact the instrumentation is as muddy as it is, frankly, but Bill's voice still sounds good. That's for sure. We've also got 2hollis over here, hitting us with Dogs, brand new track from 2hollis. And look, I'll say this, like, while I do think a lot of the edits on this track are pretty sick and pretty cool, I do like the details in the edits and the rhythmic switch ups and so on and so forth. Beyond that, this like nonchalant flow and just so saturated, fried production style, it's just so lacking in detail and nuance and color, and it's getting to the point where I'm just like kind of sick of it and it's losing its flavor. It's like an old piece of bubble gum that you've been chewing and chewing and chewing and chewing, and the novelty has been sort of lost on it. And that's not to say that I'm giving up on or that I dislike production that's super loud and compressed and distorted in general. I just feel like there are ways of going about making it that, kind of pose to the audience a little bit more in terms of like color and layers. And I feel like 2hollis just doesn't quite, gravitate toward production that is loud but also detailed. It just sort of sounds loud, sounds fried, sounds a little monochrome to my ears. It's kind of lacking in color gradient, I guess you could say, color in general. But, again, a lot of the edits and grooves are certainly cool. I just wish there was more to it, or that it didn't sound like, so stale after like, a minute or so of having heard it. Moving on from there, best tracks of the week. They are as follows. Boom. We have a new crossover from Billy Woods himself, and August Fanon, and Aesop Rock featuring on the track as well. You've got two of the best living lyricists out there today on a very moody, depressive instrumental, and it very much works. Very haunting track for sure. We also have Moses Sumney apparently making thespian debut over here, because he was a part of a production of Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, and we're getting his voice on a recording of "Oh Mistress Mine" in relation to the whole production, which is pretty cool. And it's a beautiful track with some wonderful Moses Sumney vocals on it. Check it out, especially for you theater nerds. Moving on from there, Mandy, Indiana, experimental rock group, has a new album on the way, and our first taste of their forthcoming album is the song Magazine, and it is an eerie, haunting, freaky, industrial, noisy, and I'll say slightly harrowing listen, and liking the intensity that the band brings together on this track for sure. All right, coming through also, Magdalena Bay treating us to two more new songs on a brand new single. This is The World I Made It For You, which is my favorite of the two, which has a cool, funky, almost like little Cardigans vibe. There's some accordion in the mix. The bass line is cool, a bit of a Motown feel between the bass and the drums. Mika's vocals are killer, and it also has Nice Day as a track backing it up. Two very great, super solid, impressive tracks, once again, from Magdalena Bay. They're really killing it with these recent singles, and it's just amazing to see the consistency and the progression from the duo as they continue to try out some new sounds. Seems like they're road testing some stuff here and there that's like different instrumental palettes, more acoustic here and there, but still like, coming out with amazing songs in the process. Seems like even as they are switching things up, the fans are continuing to be pleased. So awesome stuff once again from Mag Bay. We have Gene Dawson, who has come through with kind of a deluxe version, revamped version of his latest record that has a bunch of new songs on the back end, which he has been teasing with like some singles here and there. This one over here, Sangre, is one in Spanish, and it's a cool little kind of throwback rock number with some spacey, beautiful vocals on it that I like quite a bit. Awesome of Gene to expand the new record with some additional material. We also have De La Soul's second taste of their forthcoming album, and we have Q-Tip, we have Yummy Bingham in the mix on this one. It is summery, it is fun, it is quite, I'll say, feel good of a track. Maybe it's not the time of year for it, but it's still a fantastic track, and a rest in peace to Trugoy the Dove. This will obviously be De La Soul's first record they will be releasing without him. So, how that's going to, his loss is going to shape, the dynamics and obviously some of the themes of this record should most definitely be interesting for sure. All right, we have also Charli XCX, who in the past week has hit us with a few new tracks that I guess are going to be connected to her soundtrack work for this upcoming Wuthering Heights film adaptation, one of which features John Cale and is kind of my favorite of the two tracks. It's titled House. It is super heavy. It's abrasive. It is absolutely frightening, honestly, in a lot of ways. John Cale's narrations are quite dramatic. Charli's vocals are, super distorted, have this like crazy vocal fry on them. It's just so brittle and horrifying a little bit. And the second of the two tracks, Chains of Love, is almost like a song that you would hear from one of her first couple of records that had maybe like more of an 80s pop sheen on them. And it's it's kind of a cute anthemic ballad. It's fine for what it is. Not blowing me away or anything like that. Not going as hard as anything like On Brat. But, if you're looking for a dramatic ballad that would, certainly fit a film soundtrack, this one is it. And lastly over here, shout out to none other than, once again, Oneohtrix Point Never, who continues to dish out teasers from this forthcoming Tranquilizer album. This one, D.I.S. Dis is quite full of interesting collages of sounds. And, it's just like a very fun, colorful, fun for me anyway, abstract electronic piece that really stimulates the old noggin. And I'm excited to see how all of these, I would say so far with all the different tracks, contrasting pieces will come together on this forthcoming album for sure. All right, that is going to be it for the weekly track roundup, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Again, all the tracks linked down below. Hopefully you got some good recommendations out of this video, and I will see you in the next one. Anthony Fantano, weekly tracks forever.